Hello, everybody. All right, today we're gonna do a snow spell or an ice spell. And so if you don't have snow, so if you live somewhere and you don't have snow, you can totally do this spell with ice. Just instead of filling your dish up with snow, you'll fill your dish up with ice cubes. So maybe if you have like an ice cube maker that makes like chopped ice, that might be a little bit better. You can use whatever kind of ice you have though. So fill your dish up with ice or snow, and that's your first step. Actually, I lie. Your first step is going to be to cleanse. So I'll go over all of this in a second. But basically, this spell is for anything that you're wanting to release from your life while also bringing something positive in. Because I'm a big believer in when we release something from our lives that we no longer want or need, it's important to replace it with something that we do want or that we do need. Because once we clear out, energetically, we clear out something from our lives, we're then leaving that space open and available for something else to come in. And so I think it's really important to fill that empty space up with something that we want rather than leaving that space open and available for something we don't want to come in. And apologize for the lighting here. This is kind of wonky. Okay, so anyway, this spell is great for removing something from your life and bringing something else in. And we'll go into the example. I think I'm going to do an example of weight loss. So wanting to release weight from your life and then instead bring in healthy habits. So like releasing maybe some unhealthy habits and bringing in good habits. So we'll get into that in a minute. So you're going to need, you don't necessarily need a dish or a plate or anything. I just personally like to have some sort of like little plate to do my sort of energy work or anything on. Anyway, then you'll want to get a container, a fireproof container. So you want to use, you could even use if you have a cauldron, you can use that. I just really like this dish. So this is a glass dish. Oh no, my snow's already starting to melt. And you'll need something to cleanse your space with. I have sage. You're going to need a tea light candle, obviously a lighter, and then you're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with. You could also incorporate crystals. So for whatever it is that you're working with, you could bring in crystals. I personally like to use, I don't do this all the time, but I really do like to use selenite when I'm doing any sort of spell work because I just feel like it helps to, sort of protect, what am I trying to say? Protect my working, because I don't necessarily call in the quarters and all of that when I'm doing energy work or spell work. So I just feel that this helps to keep the energy high and vibrating clean and nicely. So I'll just take selenite and I usually just place it in the four corners of my dish. There you go. All right, so we're going to cleanse everything. Ideally, you do this, kind of like right when you sit down. So yeah, I don't call in the quarters, but I do cleanse my space. All right, so you want to cleanse your space, and I'm not really doing this quite as full of intent as I would if this were an actual spell that I were doing. I like to go counterclockwise with whatever I'm using to cleanse my space. So you want to cleanse your area, you want to cleanse yourself as well, which I'm not going to do that for the video. I cleanse everything that I'm working with. So I'll cleanse the candle. I even cleanse the pen that I'm working on or working with. I cleanse the paper that I'm going to be writing on. Basically anything that you're using or working with for the spell, you want to cleanse as well as yourself. Then you want to take a moment to just kind of center yourself. Center yourself. Think about what it is that you are trying to release from your life. Think about what it is that you're wanting to bring into your life. Just really envision these things and feel these things and get yourself into a good space. All right, so next what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands and you can put them around the cup, you can put them over the cup or the dish, but basically you are infusing the snow with whatever it is that you're releasing. So maybe you're releasing a habit of smoking. Maybe you are releasing an emotional attachment that you have, with an ex-partner. Maybe you are wanting to release bad eating habits. Maybe like me, you have a really big sweet tooth, and so you're wanting to kind of release those sugar cravings because you're wanting to eat better in life. Can you tell what I'm doing some work on right now? Anyway, so for the intent of this example, we'll do the eating thing. So you're wanting to release some excess weight. You're wanting to release your sugar cravings. You're wanting to release your carb cravings. So I want you to think about that. And also, side note, when you're doing this, you want to do it on just one topic. That probably will work a lot better for you than like releasing everything. Like, I'm releasing my ex-boyfriend, I'm releasing sugar cravings, I'm releasing my smoking habit, I'm releasing, my debt, because you can do that as well. Release your debt. Rather than releasing all the things at one time, if you have a bunch of things you want to release, I suggest doing this spell for each separate thing. I am including with this, releasing some extra pounds, some extra weight, as well as with the releasing sugar cravings and carb cravings, because that all goes together. It's all the same thing. So you want to infuse the ice or the snow with that energy, with that intent, and really feel it. Really feel, this is when you are wanting to really do this. Feel it, see it, feel the frustrations of when you're eating sugar and you're like, oh, this doesn't make me feel good, but I'm doing it anyway. Everything that you can think of, release it and put that energy into the snow. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your tea light, and you can even say, hold it in your hand, and maybe even just say a little prayer over it to whatever deity or higher consciousness that you pray to or believe in. You can ask, your spiritual team, angels, spirit guides, ancestors. I ask you to help me release these things from my life. I ask you to help me transform my life in a positive way, to release these burdens from my life. Whatever you want to say, whatever feels good to you. And you're going to light the candle, and you're just going to place it right on top of the snow and the ice, very gently. You don't want to like push it down. So I can't really tilt this over. Anyway, I have the tea light just sitting gently on top of the snow. And so what this will do is, as the candle's burning and the snow is melting, it's literally melting those things away from your life. It's melting it all away. So if you, infused the snow or ice with wanting to release debt from your life, as the snow or the ice melts, it's releasing the debt from your life. It's releasing it. This is releasing the weight from our lives. This is releasing the sugar cravings from our lives. And you want to let this burn until the ice or the snow has melted. It could take a little while. It may take quick time. That's okay. And ideally, the tea light should be sitting on top of the water, just kind of floating on top of the water. If for any reason the candle maybe tilts or sinks a little bit, that's okay. I don't see that as a sign of like, oh, the spell didn't work. Some people are different, Everybody has their own ways of doing things and thinking of things and all of that. Some people may see that as a sign that like the spell didn't work. I don't personally see it that way. So if that does happen, you can just, pick up the tea light out of the water and set it to the side and do this next step that I'm about to do, with the candle just sitting to the side and not necessarily in the water. All right, so while the candle's burning, you will then get your piece of paper, and it can be any kind of piece of paper. Again, and I always feel like whenever I do like magic videos or like spell work videos or witchcraft, like people always try to come at me. Like, everybody has their own opinions and everybody has their own ways of doing things, and that's kind of what makes magic so cool. It's unique to the individual. Yes, certain like paths of magic have their own ways of doing things, but ultimately everybody kind of has their own unique way. So like some people would say, don't ever write on, a piece of normal notebook paper. But if that's all you have, then that's fine. At the end of the day, I say this all the time, at the end of the day, what really matters is your intention. So if all you have is a piece of notebook paper, that's fine. I just personally like to use, this is just like the craft paper. I like to use this for my spell work. I feel like it works well. I like to use it. Anyway, whatever. If you need to use a Post-it note, that's fine. So here is where we're going to write what we are bringing into our lives. So remember, we just released, or we are releasing things from our lives over here. So we're going to write what we are bringing in. And you want to write it as if it is already happening. not in the future or one day or I want blah, blah, blah. You are writing it as if it is yours. You are claiming it because it is yours. If you think it and you want it, it's yours. So we're going to write, I make healthy food choices. I nourish my body with healthy food. And notice how I'm not putting like, I don't eat sugar. I don't cave into my sugar cravings. You're wanting to keep this in the positive. Word it in the present and word it in the positive. So you want to be writing what you do want, not what you don't want. We did that over here. We're releasing this, we're releasing that. Over here, we want it to be positive. So I make healthy food choices. I nourish my body with healthy food. I maintain a healthy weight. You know, write whatever you want. Maybe if you were releasing debt over here, you could write, you know, I am good at managing my money. Money flows to me from multiple streams of income. I welcome money into my life with ease. You know, whatever it is that you want to bring into your life is what you would be writing here. And then also, again, some people do things differently. I personally, when I'm writing something, I like to sign my name on it when I'm trying to bring something into my life, or basically whenever I'm writing a paper for spell work. I sign my name. I'm not going to really sign my name right now because I'm not doing a real spell for anything. And then again, here's where some people say you need to do it this way. Some people say if you are trying to like remove something from your life, you turn the paper counterclockwise and fold it away from you. And if you're trying to bring something into your life, you fold it towards you and turn it clockwise. You can do, I think, whatever feels good to you. I do kind of like the folding it towards you for something you're bringing in and folding it away from you for something you're bringing out. So for this instance, because we are bringing it into us, I'm going to fold the paper towards myself, turn it clockwise, and fold it towards myself. And some people also are very specific about how many times you're supposed to fold the paper. Other people don't. I just kind of fold it into whatever shape feels good. So sometimes I fold it just twice. Sometimes I fold it a third time, which I actually am going to fold it a third time. Just kind of go with what feels right to you. Anyway, so we're going to just have this kind of sitting aside while you wait for the, gosh, this is already almost melting, while you wait for your ice or snow to melt. And also at this point too, you could, if you have essential oils that you work with or blessed oils, you could anoint your paper. So for instance, if you have, you know, if you're doing for the money, you could put some money oil on your paper, or for weight loss, you could put some oils that are good for like boosting your metabolism, curbing cravings. So like grapefruit oil would be good to put on this. And then you want to, before you set it aside actually, you want to hold it in your hand. And this time you are infusing it with what it is that you're wanting in your life. So you're infusing it with all of those things that you're wanting to bring into your life. And again, we're envisioning it when we're infusing this paper with our intent. You are envisioning it as if it is already yours, not as if this is something in the future that may or may not happen. You are thinking of what it would feel like to be making healthy food choices, thinking of all the awesome energy that you will have from making the good food choices, you know, thinking how strong you feel by maintaining a healthy weight, you know, whatever it is. Infuse it, envision it, really feel it, and put that energy into it. All right, so then what you're going to do, my ice isn't completely, or my snow isn't completely melted, but that's okay. What you're then going to do is take your paper and you're going to light it on fire. And with this, you may, I don't have it over here, you may want to hold it with some like little metal tongs, or just hold it, whatever, it's fine. And then I like to just kind of set it in there on the candle, on the flame, in the water, it's fine. And let it burn as much as it can. It may burn all the way, it may not burn all the way. It's okay, that's fine if it doesn't burn all the way. All right, and this is still kind of smoldering. And basically you'll let it smolder, do its thing. I don't want to touch it yet because it's still smoldering. And And then once it's done, you'll just kind of scoot it over. Obviously, wait till it's like not still. I don't know if you can see it around the edges. There's still some red, so I don't want to touch it right now. But wait till it's completely done, and then you'll just kind of want to scoot the ashes and whatever paper is remaining into the water. And then at this point, the flame has probably gone out on its own. If not, you can snuff it out. And then you'll remove the tea light. And then you're going to take all of this and you're going to release it outside. So you're going to go to like a tree or whatever, and you're going to release it into the earth. And as you're releasing it into the earth, you're thanking your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors. You're thanking the universe. You're thanking Mother Earth for taking all of this and transmuting the energy and transforming the energy. And basically what this is doing is you're releasing the melted water and releasing it back to the earth for Mother Earth to kind of transmute that energy and do with it what she sees fit. And then by burning the paper, again, you're transforming that energy. You're sending that smoke up into the universe, into the heavens to be transformed and brought into your life. And that is really it. That is your spell. You could also leave this burning. So even if the flame goes out, you could light it again and let it burn out all the way. Just, again, whatever really feels good to you. I do think, though, if you are going to not light this again and let it burn through all the way, I don't suggest using the same tea light for another spell, but that's up to you. I don't know. I mean, I might use this again for another spell of this exact nature of releasing and bringing in something, but I wouldn't like use this for a completely different spell or anything like that. So I hope that that is helpful to you guys. This really is such a customizable spell. Like, you can do release and bring in anything, really. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below. If you try the spell, let me know. Come back to here and comment. Or if you try it and you post it online or something, tag me in it. I'm ChariceWilliams.xo on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. So yeah, I'd love to see it. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.